Sleep paralysis, a strange condition that traps your mind between dreams and waking reality. You're awake, but you can't move. Your chest feels heavy, the air turns cold, and then the shadows come alive. Tonight, we dive into true accounts of sleep paralysis encounters, the kind that make you wonder if it's just your brain or something darker. A man in his early 20s described his first episode. He woke up at 3 a.m. unable to move a single muscle. His eyes darted around the room, and that's when he saw her. A woman, tall, thin, dressed in black, her hair tangled and wet, standing silently in the corner of his bedroom. Her head tilted slowly until it seemed her neck might snap. She never blinked, never looked away. He wanted to scream, to call for help, but no sound left his throat. Minutes passed, though it felt like hours. The figure inched closer step by step, until her face hovered inches above his own. Her eyes were pitch black. She opened her mouth, but instead of words, only a dry, rasping hiss poured out. And just as her hand reached for his chest, he blinked. She was gone. He could move again. But he never slept in that room with the lights off again. Another victim reported a recurring presence. Not once, not twice. But dozens of times. Every episode began the same way, as if someone was sitting on him. His vision blurred, his breathing shallow, and then he saw her, an old woman. Wrinkled, hunched, with long, sharp fingernails, her face hovered above his, so close he could smell the rot of her breath. She would whisper, words he couldn't understand. But he felt the hate behind them, the most terrifying part. She didn't disappear when he fully woke up for a few seconds. He swears she lingered by the bed, glaring, before fading into thin air. One woman recalled being pinned down night after night by the same figure, the shadow man. He was tall, featureless, with broad shoulders and glowing red eyes. He never spoke, he never touched her. He simply stood at the foot of her bed, watching. Sometimes he would crawl onto the mattress, inch closer and press his face near hers, and she could hear it then, the faint sound of breathing, deep and animalistic. When she finally broke free, gasping and crying, she saw dark smudges, handprints pressed into the sheets where he had been. A college student shared a disturbing variation. She woke, frozen, staring at the ceiling. Then she heard it. The sound of a child giggling in the corner of her room. At first it was soft, playful. But then the giggling grew louder, distorted, twisting into a scream. Her body shook as if something was pulling her down into the mattress. She tried to shut her eyes, but they were locked open. The child's scream rose higher and higher, until it felt like her eardrums would burst. And then silence. Total silence when she woke. Tears streamed down her face, and her throat was raw, as if she had been screaming herself. Doctors call it hallucinations, caused by the brain misfiring during REM sleep. Harmless trick of the mind, they say. But how do you explain the details? The voices, the smells, the bruises, the handprints? Maybe it's not just science. Maybe when you're trapped between sleep and waking, the door to something else opens, and the shadows waiting on the other side finally step through. The next time you wake up and can't move, don't look toward the corner of the room. You might not like what's staring back at you.